Hello, Midland Christian family, and welcome to the MCS podcast telling the story of Midland Christian School, past, present, and future. Today's episode is brought to you by the 57 Club, Midland Christian's official alumni association. If you graduated from MCS going all the way back to 1957, consider becoming part of the 57 Club. Their link is below the player. Today we have a special alumni episode featuring two standouts from the class of 2020. Caden Norris and Garison both left an indelible mark at Midland Christian School. In track and field, they competed at the top of our state, and as part of the student body, they made a considerable impact. Since graduation, they have made their way to the top of the college track and field world, both qualifying for the NCAA National Outdoor Track and Field Championships this past summer in Eugene, Oregon. Caden competing with Texas A&M and Garison with the Red Raiders of Texas Tech University. Let's jump right into our conversation with MCS graduates Caden Norris and Garison Breeding. All right, well, welcome in here. We are super excited to have two Midland Christian alumni with us today here. We have Garison Breeding and Caden Norris, both class of 2020, both doing amazing things out there, actually both doing it in the world of track and field at a national level. And so first off, guys, hey, thanks for jumping on with us today. I'm excited to kind of hear where you guys are at and what's been going on. So just to start, tell us kind of where you guys are today, like where are you now? And then kind of where do you sit just in kind of terms of, what's next for both of you? We'll get into the national championships and all that kind of stuff, but kind of where are you now and what's keeping you busy?
For me right now, I'm just finished up in College Station. I've been up here doing some coaching, and I kept the door open if trials happened that I would be here. And so I'm actually heading home to Midland tomorrow, and I'll be there the rest of the summer. And just to be with family. I haven't been back home in a while, so it'll just be good to be with them, see my brother and parents, and try and do some coaching there. And yeah, just enjoy the off season and get some rest.
Yeah, absolutely. Some rest needed. I know I've been watching, I know your parents I feel like they've been following your journey, and like I've seen a lot of pictures of their travels, and it's been, I'm sure, very cool for you to have kind of that kind of experience that as a family. And we're obviously very excited to kind of have you guys back in town whenever you get here and get to talk to you in person. Garison, you've kind of had probably as much of a whirlwind year as anybody, making the move from Knoxville to Lubbock, and the run that you guys had, a great program, and just the trip to nationals, all that. Now that that's over, kind of where are you now, and what are your plans for the immediate future?
I'm actually down in Midland right now for a couple of days, just hanging out with my parents some, and then I'll go back to Lubbock for a few days, then go for most of the summer and just hang out with some with friends there, my girlfriend, just have some quality time with them since I've been. But yeah, trying to stay busy with Caden, trying to get into kind of doing some private coaching and stuff like that. So if anybody wants workouts or private training, feel free to reach out.
Absolutely. And I kind of feel like there's an opportunity maybe for us to have both of you guys on campus, maybe here in the near future. And I don't know, I'm sure there's some kind of an NIL component we can work on, and maybe sign some t-shirts and, raise some money or do something fun. But so for both of you guys, and I'll let each of you kind of answer this question. What's it like to walk out into that stadium at the national championships? Something I imagine you guys have both dreamed about. Just kind of take me through that moment of, okay, we've planned on it. I know where I'm going, headed to Eugene. That's cool. And then you actually step onto the field of competition there in Oregon. Just kind of walk me through that moment.
Yeah, that was exciting. I mean, it was neat getting to have nationals, getting to experience that the year before here in Texas. So cool, just getting to experience the meet itself before. So going to Oregon was really probably more fun than the year before. Just didn't feel like I had the same pressure or anything, kind of like I had been there before. Kind of took the pressure off and allowed me to just enjoy it more, I feel like. So it was really cool to see that. And then, of course, just seeing people that, you kind of see throughout the season and getting to go there and celebrate with them, see Caden there. And um, it's just a really cool experience and something not many people get to do. So really just for me, it's just more thankful than anything. I didn't necessarily compete the way I wanted to, but I'm really thankful for just like the experience of getting to be there. That was really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. All about the experience and kind of the journey and really getting to do it with a team. I know, Caden, just kind of moving through the season. You guys had a lot of cool team accomplishments as well. I know the pin relays were one that kind of stuck out, and some things that you guys did as a relays and those kind of things. Also the same question to you. What was it like, kind of reaching the summit, so to speak, for track and field? And also just kind of the relationships that you had with your teammates and your program.
This year has been really cool, and man, a lot of unknowns. We kind of like right before our season or before the off season started, we signed a new coach for the 800, and for a second there, we thought it was going to be our head coach and distance coach. Our head coach is a 400 coach. We thought they were going to come together and coach us, and our previous coach, he was one of the best in the country, and we are like, how is this going to happen? And then we ended up signing Coach Herring, and he brought in a couple guys. And so as far as the 800 group this has been one of the best training years that we've had. And obviously the three of us made it all the way to nationals. And so that was really cool. But just the environment, we had some great leaders and just some guys that have had some really elite experience kind of lead the team, and we were very prepared going into the SEC Outdoors Championship conference meet, and we were leading going into the 4x4, and I mean, props to Arkansas and Alabama. Those guys are in 258, 259, and so we fell to third by half a point, so that was tough, but we also knew that the season wasn't over and that there was a chance going into outdoors. But it was just fun. It's a very individual sport, but it's really cool to, be invested in everyone else and rooting for each other. And same with Garison. And I know they actually won their indoor meet or their indoor conference championship. But it's been a fun year, and looking back, it's those relationships, because you're with those people every single day that make it fun and make track what it is.
Yeah, it's kind of it's such a unique sport in that it's it's almost entirely an individual pursuit, but it kind of plays out in a team setting. You have some relays and different things where you're competing together. But Garison, I know, kind of just watching you throughout the year, this last year at Tech, and like you hit some personal marks. I know 52 feet and some of those things. Like, talk me through like just kind of your individual season, leading up to like the Big 12 championships and actually qualifying at regionals.
It was a good season. It was hard because so I came and have Coach Hurston at Texas Tech. So came in January, workouts in October. He's my fourth coach in 4 years. I had a different jump coach every single year at Tennessee. So just kind of the toll of like constantly changing training on your body just kind of gets exhausting. Everybody kind of starts to break down, trying to react to different things. So it was definitely hard from that point of view. Like, you've had 4 different voices in 4 years telling you how to do the same thing 4 different ways. It kind of starts to get jumbled in your head, but good. Started well and kind of had ebbs and flows as it usually does, but going into Big 12s outdoor, I kind of had like a few like nagging things, kind of like tendonitis, and I had like turf toe, which was out of nowhere. That was kind of random. So a few things that were just kind of nagging me, but really just trying to enjoy each day of it, and that, believe it or not, actually helps you jump better. Who would have thought? Just enjoying it and being in the moment.
So yeah, I want to loop back to something that Garrison said, and and maybe Caden, you can put your spin on this too. But he mentioned just letting go of the result that kind of frees you up to perform at a level maybe you didn't know you were capable of. You've seen that play out kind of in your career, I know, with a lot of injuries and setbacks, and kind of what does it mean for you, in a results driven, field, where it's you and a stopwatch. How do you let go of the result when it's just you and the track?
No, it's definitely tough, and it's one of my biggest battles that I've had over the past 4 years, and I'm still working on it. And I think what I realized at the regional meet is like how great it is that I can rely on someone else other than myself, and that's Jesus Christ. And I had double foot surgery, and I just was like, Lord, if you want me to run track, let it be clear, and if it's not, just praying for discernment. And I remember just tying my shoes in the first race, and I was like, this is it. This is it. This is the answered prayer. Like, he's got me here. And so having that in the back of my mind, knowing that this is where the Lord wants me, that is what gave me the confidence. And is it to run fast, or is it to glorify him in whatever way and try and be a light to my teammate? Like, maybe that was it. And yeah, I think I actually was struggling a lot at regionals. If you're not there mentally, it's really hard to run. And I just trusted in the Lord, and I said, if it's the Lord's will for me to get to nationals, it's going to happen. All I control is effort. And that was just the coolest thing. And I ended up getting a little cue. I was the 11th. I was the last time qualifier, and going into nationals, I was seeded 23 out of 24. And it was just cool that I made it through. And it was just, I was honestly in awe of the Lord and just how gracious he's been this whole season. And so that's been really cool to kind of look back and see.
For sure. And Garrison, we were just kind of piggybacking off what you said about, letting go of the result, and just kind of trusting that, God's will, is what it is, and all, what Caden said is, what I can control is my effort. And if it's God's will for me to be on this platform and to make much of his name, then that's what's going to happen. And I want to jump back kind of into that a little bit for Garrison and Caden both. You guys have crossed paths a few times since high school. Obviously graduated together. How many times have you guys kind of run across each other, maybe on the infield, and been like, man, how cool is this? Two boys from Midland Christian, and we're here at whatever event it was, whether that be SEC or regionals, or even at nationals.
That was really fun to see each other. I still remember, I think it must have been the first meet we saw each other at Vanderbilt. Like getting to see each other compete in college, and like we got to take a picture with each other's uniforms. Caden's had throw up on it, so that was fun. No, it's just cool. Like, it's so rare for people to even get to that level, and so getting to do it with someone that like you went to high school with and like have seen grow. Like, I still laugh thinking back to high school meets at Big Spring with Caden, just sandbagging the 800, the last 200 to beat everybody just with ease. And it's so funny to just kind of see like the way it's progressed, and getting to do it now together at like the highest stage, like you said, is really cool.
I like at regionals, Texas Tech's tent was right next to Texas A&M, and so like every time that we had time, we were just talking to each other. And when I went and ran the 800 and found out I qualified, I went up in the stands and got to cheer on Garison and watch him make it. So that was really cool. And Coach Colin Boney was there, and so it was just really cool to see Garison out in Hayward Field. I'm sure I was up all the way in the second deck, but I was standing up and cheering for Garison. So yeah, it's just been really cool seeing there's someone that's been kind of in the same walk as you, and he's we've had our fair share of injuries and ups and downs. And I think my favorite memory is Garrison playing basketball in 8th grade when we were on the same team. He's just a pure athlete, and he was just good at everything. And so it cracks me up that that's where we were. And then, yeah, we're both at Hayward Field in Eugene competing for a championship. So
Oh yeah, it's been incredible for us from a distance to kind of just watch your two paths and how they've convened. I want to take it back maybe to kind of junior, senior year of high school for you guys, kind of when y'all are becoming upperclassmen and kind of making the decision like, hey man, this is something I want to pursue. What were some of the things that you feel like now looking back that you think that really prepared you for competing not just at the Division I level but in a Power Five conference and against the best in the world? What were some of the things that maybe that were instilled in you while here at Midland Christian in whatever way that kind of prepared you for those moments?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, the whole time coming up at Midland Christian, everything like everything preached was like working hard and like work ethic. And I think that plays into something like track a lot, because a lot of the workouts aren't glamorous. I mean, the times you're dying running circles in July pay off a lot by the time you get to May. But it doesn't always feel like that, especially when you're young and you're kind of wanting to do like the fun stuff. It's kind of like what you're doing behind closed doors. Like that's who you are. It's not what the people see. And so like so much of track is behind the scenes stuff. And so just kind of instilling that character of hard work and working through the hard days, I think was instilled in me a lot through my time at MCS and playing all the sports, track, football, my short stint in basketball, all of it.
Yeah, Caden, what else was instilled in you? I know you started trying to grow that mustache about junior year, and now it's full grown, and we're really impressed by that as well. We're big fans. What are some of the things that you've kind of carried with you since your time here in Midland?
just I know Coach Ryburn always talks about being poised, and I know that was more in-game situation type stuff, but I've kind of looked at it as the stretch over a season or over a time period of being injured and just being consistent and not not letting and controlling what you can control. I think was something that Coach Fleet emphasized a lot, and yeah, just those were the two biggest things that have stuck with me.
For both of you guys, kind of I know you talked about maybe doing some lessons and still some opportunities to compete. What's the next goal around the corner for you, whether it be athletically or personally, education wise? Kind of what's the next thing that's on the horizon for each of you guys?
Yeah, so I actually still have another year of eligibility. So I am finishing up a master's at Tech. So I'm taking summer classes right now, and I'll finish that up next May. Um, so I really just gonna take in this last year and enjoy it, and get to just take it all in. And then kind of in the midst of that, kind of figuring out. I'd like to get into like collegiate track and field coaching. So trying to continue to make as many connections as possible and just kind of praying the Lord opens a door wherever that may be, and yeah, just figuring out how it'll all play out.
I am not sure on the next step. That's kind of been where I've after the season, I've kind of just taken a break from track. That's just my biggest prayer right now is what's the next step for the Lord. And like Garrison, I have an extra year of eligibility, and we're just going to see where the Lord takes that. And um, same with Garrison. I think the Lord's called me to coaching, and I'm not sure whether that's collegiate or high school, but that's the route we're going. And I've extended my school to do sport management and coaching minor. So that's what I'll be doing in the fall and spring, and potentially track or some sort of student intern.
Well, that's awesome to hear. For both of you guys, you have all kinds of options in front of you, and I know that the Lord is preparing you guys to step in to whatever it is He has for you next. And we're just excited to watch and to be to kind of cheer on from a distance. And I don't know how much you guys have seen here recently what we're doing at Midland Christian, but we have purchased some land and are looking to build a new track. And so once that thing's up and firing, we got to have you guys back in town, and along with a number of athletes over the years and coaches that have really built a legacy of excellence in track and field at Midland Christian. I know just, being in the gym, looking up at that wall of all the state champions and all the success in track and field that the school has had over the years. Obviously, you guys were a huge part of that as well. And we've just been excited to this was a great opportunity watching you two guys this year to kind of sit back and kind of look at that, to kind of revisit a lot of the success that a lot of people have had in track and field here at Midland Christian. So can't wait to get you guys back on campus at some point. And then here in a year or so, be showing you guys around some new facilities and that kind of thing. Thanks guys for jumping on. We appreciate you guys taking the time, and we're praying for you guys. We're excited about the next step, and hope to see you guys soon.